Well, they haven't even taken their first steps, but look at these babies and toddlers already knowing how to make their tablets light up. Kids of all ages, from infants to teenagers, so connected with technology that it really has a lot of people concerned. A new study out of South Korea actually found that kids are becoming, well, digital addicts, just like their parents. So how much is too much technology for these little ones? Our power panel is in the house this morning. We have mental health counselor, the lovely Janie, Lacy, and Karen Poole from the Spark Family Enrichment Center joining us live this morning. Ladies, thank you both for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
All right, I have to admit, we have issues at our house with this. It started just as simple as giving my 2-year-old my iPhone to just play with while I was trying to change his diaper because he won't sit still on the changing table. And now it's turned into him wanting it every 2 seconds. How do we know where to draw the line? How much is too much? Janie, we'll start with you.
Well, there's no doubt, Amy, that there are a lot of benefits to our technology today, but what tends to happen is the overuse of technology, and parents in particular will start them off young, and then where do you, as you said, draw the line? So it's important as parents that you learn how to regulate, that you have boundaries around them, and that's used to maintenance. It's important, especially as children, that they need things to thrive. They need that human touch, they need that interaction with that primary caretaker, and what tends to happen when it becomes a problem is that's replacing the relationship when it should be used as a maintenance.
No, it's such a good point. And Karen, I'm sure you see this all the time in your line of work. Well, what are some of the stories that you've seen that you probably shake your head and think, oh my goodness, this is getting bad?
I think some of them are my own stories. I have a 4-year-old and 2-year-old twins, and so it's just so easy to say, here, mommy needs to do this with one of the kids, and here's my phone. And now they ask, and they know how to use my iPhone and my husband's smartphone better than we do. And it's sad, and I think as a family, you've kind of got to see what works for you. I think it's important that these kids are exposed to the different technology that's out there because it's going to help them later on in life. However, how do you monitor that, and how do you make that so it's not taking over everything else, and getting them out into the different classes and letting them experience things with other kids and the social interaction. You know, and you've got to make it work for each family unit. For me, I just can't take it away totally from my kids because it helps me out. It helps them. They love playing with it, and the education that comes from it is great too.
Well, and you brought up such a good point, Karen, because I think that we're all sort of locked in that, look, and we do this at our house, well, we put educational apps on the phone, so therefore that somehow makes it okay because we feel like they're actually learning something. I mean, I suppose they are, right?
I believe they are. My 4-year-old has started playing a game on the computer that's helping her with her reading, and she loves it. But in our house, she used to earn the time on mommy's computer. That's like special time. She used to be a big helper. She used to do her chores. She used to pick up her room, help with the babies, and set a good example for them in order to get that special time on the computer. And we do. Are they playing fun games that aren't educational? Yes, at times they are, but we limit that. And you know, everything works different in every family unit and every household, and it's just finding that balance, which can be really tricky and hard at times.
Absolutely. Janie, what about some long-term implications here? Because I think we do worry about the future. We know technology is part of our lives. We know it is probably going to become a greater part of our lives down the road. But what about social interaction and these other things that are obviously very important too?
Well, there's a reason why the American Pediatric Association recommends no screen time for children under 2, and after 2 they're recommending 1 to 2 hours a day, because a lot of times we do need, as children, to thrive as an adults. We need that social interaction, we need touch, we need to be able to look in our parents' eyes, and what's tend to happen is we are using that as more of a babysitter sometimes. So what we're seeing, there's a research that's now emerging that's showing that lower attention span, there's a lot of social skill issues right now, and there's early research also showing that it's changing the way that our brain works, along with our attention spans, and more than ever we're being diagnosed younger and younger with ADHD, ADD, having lower reading rates and those types of things. So there is a downside to it. But as Karen said, we have to be, as parents, you have to learn how to regulate them, put those boundaries, knowing that, you know, our family time is more valuable than the screen time, and not being afraid to being the warden, so to speak, and putting some regulations on it younger, because then it would be easier to have those regulations in place when they're older if you start younger.
All right, well listen, both of you giving some very good information to parents out there this morning. Janie, Lacy, Karen Poole, thank you both for being with us this morning. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right, Jamie, I know you have this issue at your house. You have 2 little ones at home.